Today's project is Lady Gaga's Keytar. Materials, what you're going to need.
What you're going to need is a little piano. Doesn't matter how many keys, but just a small little piano.
You're going to need a piece of plywood, and then we're going to cut it in the shape of a keytar.
I need a drill to drill the holes and a drill bit. You're going to need a Phillips screwdriver. You need a flathead screwdriver. You're going to need a socket wrench with a 1/4-inch socket. You're going to need a pair of pliers. Then you're going to need a 3-conductor 1/4 stereo phone jack. You're going to need scissors. You need bell wire. You're going to need a pair of pliers. You're going to need a soldering iron. You're going to need a glue gun and some glue sticks. You're going to need a couple packages of round head slotted stainless steel bolts. Then you're going to need a box of flat hex nuts, flat washers, and lock washers. You're going to need some black poster board. And you're going to need acrylic craft paint. You're going to need some masking tape and painter's tape to cover the piano when you're painting.
You're going to need a ruler / straight edge. And you're going to need a pencil.
You're going to need a guitar strap.
Let's get started. Make sure you have the piece of plywood cut and painted before you do all the rest.
What you're going to need is a little piano. Doesn't matter how many keys, but just a small little piano. This one's a 32-key piano.
To paint the piano, tape off the piano's plastic parts and paint the keys with acrylic paint. Paint 2 or 3 coats of paint. Watch to make sure the keys don't stick together.
Then you're going to need a 3-conductor 1/4 stereo phone jack.
Step 1. Take the piano apart if you are putting in the stereo jack, which is optional.
So you're going to need to take out the batteries and then take out all the screws to open it up. And we're going to open it up. So take the Phillips screwdriver or whatever screwdriver the screws are and take out all the screws. So on the last screw, okay, we took it out and now we're going to open it up. Now you can see these are the piano keys. This is for the touch board for the audio. And what we're looking for is this right here. These 2 wires here. So we're gonna leave both because then you can use this as a monitor if you want to hear what you're playing also.
Step 2. Cut open the package for the stereo jack and drill the hole for it if you're putting in the stereo jack, which is optional.
You're gonna need scissors to cut the thing open. Drill a hole into the side. We have drilled a hole.
Step 3. Wire the stereo jack to the circuit board and mount it. Putting the stereo jack is optional. You can also just use the built-in speakers.
You need bell wire and you're gonna twist it with the drill. I'm having an electrician help me with the wires. So get an electrician or someone who knows how to wire this together. And he's soldering it on.
Now when you're done soldering, mount the wires and audio jack, optional.
Then put it back in the 1/4 jack because you had to take it out to solder the wires.
Lastly, solder the ends of the wires to the circuit board to get the sound to the audio jack, optional.
Now we're cutting the ends of the wire off to expose the metal. Solder it to the speaker circuit board part.
Once the audio jack is in, keep the back off the piano. Optional if you added the audio jack. If you didn't put the audio jack in, open the piano if it's not opened, and take out all the screws and take the back cover off. Step 4. Drill the holes for the bolts on the back of the piano cover and the plywood.
We're gonna drill holes to hold onto the board. We're drilling the holes so we can attach the piano to the board. We're taking the bolt and we're putting it in the hole of the piano, turning it over, putting it through, and then putting a washer on it so that when we bolt this on to the wood, these are on the outside and these are on the inside, and it will attach to the wood, and this will go through the wood too. Now we're gonna finish by putting the bottom back on the piano and screw it back on. So all we did is we took a pencil and we laid down the piano and we traced where we wanted it on the board. We're gonna drill the holes to the board.
Step 5. Time to make the origami shapes. Click here for the origami folding. Step 6. Mount the paper to the board and glue the origami on.
So now what I'm gonna do is lay the paper down on the board and cut it to the size, and then put holes in it, and then put the piano on top of this, and then put my spikes on, because then it's easier to glue on and get ready. So what I did is I cut it a little longer because I'm gonna fold this end over and put the holes in the spot where the thing is. And what I'm gonna do is put the piano back on it and then glue on the pieces then, because it's easier to glue, and then I can take this off if I want to. Now I have the paper on under it, so now I'm gonna take the washers and nuts and I'm going to tighten them on to all 4 of them with the socket wrench to make them really tight. All I'm doing is I'm taking the hot glue and I'm gluing the edges to the paper, and I'm gonna just do that. So now it's all glued and in place.
To finish it up, take the guitar strap and attach it to the bolts from the piano.
And that is how to make the Lady Gaga Keytar.